Okay, hello everyone. Yeah, okay, can see. I don't know what the plans. Okay, so we are doing 50 S&T and Compre Cloze questions today. Alright, I'm a bit sunny. Okay, maybe no more reflection now. Let's see how it's looking. Oh, is it still reflection? Okay, can. Okay, hi everyone. We are doing 50 S&T and Compre Cloze questions today. Okay, so if you are interested in getting our ebooks, you can go to our main TikTok page over here. This? Oh, cannot hear, is it? Okay. So yes, hello everyone. Please let me know if you are able to hear the sound as well. And if the screen is too small, I can zoom in a little bit. Okay, so if you are interested in getting our ebooks and you do not know where to access them, right? So you can access them via our Podia webpage. So how to get there is to actually head to our main TikTok page. Click on our link in bio over here, right? You see the link in bio, and you'll be directed to this page over here on the screen on top, as you can see, right? So on the top screen over here, you can see that we have several buttons and icons. So just click on the book, right? Ebook store, that will be directing you to our ebook store, which has all of these useful resources for you to revise for your PSLE and even your O-level examinations. Okay, so these are some of the books that we have covered recently. So we have done 1200 PSLE grammar and vocabulary questions. We have also done our S&T as well as our Compre Cloze questions. So we do have secondary resources as well, so feel free to check it out if you haven't. Okay. Let me adjust the camera. Okay, give me a moment. Okay, that's better. Yes, so we are actually doing one of the ebooks today, which is the S&T questions. So for those of you who are new here, right, welcome to our live session. Okay, we are doing the 1000 synthesis and transformation questions ebook today. Okay, so do remember to like, share, and follow us if you haven't. Okay, yes. So let's go on to today's ebook that we will be covering the same questions from the previous live sessions as well. Right, we are doing this practice once again. Okay, so the first question, Frank is a famous badminton player in Singapore. His mother sells chicken rice every morning. So we use whose to connect these two sentences. Right, we use whose to connect these two sentences. Okay, so hello Lapia, welcome to the live. Welcome Joyce. Hi Joyce. Okay, hello. Please remember to follow us if you haven't, because it will be helpful for those of you, especially if you are revising for PSLE. Okay, lost in TikTok. Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to our live. Okay, today we'll be doing 1000 PSLE synthesis and transformation practice questions. So, because we are doing synthesis, which means that we have to practice with conjunctions that connect the sentences together, or maybe changing the sentence structure to suit the words that the question gives. Okay, so is there anyone who wants to try answering the first question over here? Okay, welcome everyone. Hello. Welcome to the live. Okay, welcome. We are doing 50 synthesis and transformation questions along with Compre Cloze questions. So over here, if you head to our TikTok main page, right, you are able to see our videos and contents that we do have. And if you click on the link in bio, right, this link tree over here, Writers at Work link tree, you can actually see that we have several buttons for you to look at, and even a shop button for you to browse. Okay, so for the shop button, you can click on our ebooks collection, right? So our ebooks collection contains a lot of different segments of paper 2 as well as paper 1 and even your oral. So we cover all aspects, right, for P6s. If you are looking for revision materials and you don't know where to get them, this is the perfect place for you to find something useful for your self-study. Hey, hi. Hello everyone, welcome to our live session. Okay, so if there's let's go to question number 1. So Frank is a famous badminton player in Singapore. His mother sells chicken rice every morning, right? So whose usually refers to something that belongs to someone. Okay, belongs to someone. So for this question over here, it will be Frank, whose mother sells chicken rice every morning is a famous badminton player in Singapore. Okay, so this will be the correct answer for question number 1. Right, so we use whose, right? We do not need to repeat his anymore because this will represent this over here, and mother, because the mother is Frank's mother, so his mother sells chicken rice every morning. Okay, Frank, whose mother sells chicken rice every morning. Remember to put the commas in. Okay, so if you want to put comma here and here, right? Okay, next question. Jane has a test which begins in half an hour's time. Jane is still in bed. Okay, so we have a word but over here. So Jane has a test which begins in half an hour's time, but Jane is still in bed. So what is the answer? We use but to connect these two sentences. Right, we use the word but to connect these two sentences. Okay, any idea? Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to our live session. We are doing 50 synthesis and transformation questions today. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome. Please remember to follow us if you haven't and like our live or share it with your friends if you find it helpful. Okay, so looking at question number 2, Jane has a test which begins in half an hour's time. Jane is still in bed. Okay, so we use but to connect these two words over here. Okay, we use but. So but shows like a slight contrast over here, right? So Jane has a test which begins in half an hour's time. But she is still in bed. Okay, so Jane has a test which begins in half an hour's time, but she is still in bed. Okay, next question, question number 3. Greg was angry with Jonathan. Jonathan broke his favorite toy car when he tripped over it. Okay, so we use the word for to connect these two sentences over here. Okay, so for is talking about the reasoning, right? Okay, reason. What happened? So we have to talk about what happened. So Greg was angry with Jonathan, right? This is the effect, right? But what was the cause? Okay, so Greg was angry with Jonathan for breaking his favorite toy car when he tripped over it. Okay, so this is question number 3. Greg was angry with Jonathan for breaking his favorite toy car when he tripped over it. Okay, so this will be the answer for this question over here. Okay, moving on to question number 4. You must concentrate on the music, you will be able to enjoy it. So unless, right, unless, as we have said earlier in the previous live sessions, right, unless means that you can replace it with if you don't. Okay, so if you don't, right, unless, so if you don't do what? You will be able or you will not be able to enjoy it, right? So unless you concentrate on the music, okay, if you don't concentrate on the music, what will happen? Will you be able or will you not be able to enjoy it, right? So you will not be able to enjoy it. Okay, so unless you concentrate on the music, you will not be able to enjoy it. Okay, question number 5. Mr. Yong was very grateful to Sergeant Harry for recovering his stolen car. Mr. Yong gave Sergeant Harry a reward. So to express his gratitude, right, what happened? So over here you have to look at what is the why did he give him a reward? Because he was very grateful to Sergeant Harry for recovering his stolen car, which means that his Sergeant Harry got his stolen car back for him, which is why he was very grateful for it. Right, so to express his gratitude, this means that the question has changed grateful to its noun form, which is gratitude. Okay, so please don't write gratefulness or anything, because the correct way of changing the word form from a verb to noun is like this. Okay, so the correct answer for this question over here is to express his gratitude. Mr. Yong was Mr. Yong, Mr. Yong, what did he do? Gave Sergeant Harry a reward for recovering his stolen car. Hey, hi everyone, welcome those of you who are new here. We are doing 50 synthesis and transformation questions from our 1000 PSLE S&T practices ebook today. Okay, so for those of you who are here and you haven't followed us, please feel free to do so and share this live with your friends if you feel that this is helpful for you, especially for the P6 students who are revising for your PSLE. And PSLE is coming up in just a few months' time, so this is the perfect time for you to start your revision. Okay, so let's go on to the next page over here. Practice 2. Jane was trying to get the boy out of the pool. She lost her grip on the boy's hand. So we use the word when. Okay, so what happened, right? So she was doing this when this happened. So this represents the time something happened, right? It's like a time stamp. So it represents like the time that something actually happened. So over here, Jane was trying to get the boy out of the pool when she lost grip on the boy's hand. Okay, so this happened when she was trying to get the boy out of the pool. So just at that moment in time, she lost the grip on the boy's hand. So this is how we use this conjunction in this question over here. So to connect two sentences, we always need this connecting word. So sometimes people call it a conjunction, some call it a connector, right? Anything that helps you with your revision, right? You can just feel free to think of like which is a better word you want to refer to it as for synthesis and transformation. So S&T comes with a lot of practice, so you have to continuously do many questions in order to see a trend or the pattern of certain question types and how you can overcome them. Okay, so let's go on to the next question over here. Right, people accept the truth of my story. It is unlikely I will come out of hiding. So now we use the word unless, right? Unless. So unless, right, if they don't, we replace it with the word if they don't. Okay, unless okay, unless what happens, right? If the people don't accept. So unless people accept the truth of my story, it is, okay, we keep the word unlikely here. We don't need to change the word because sometimes we just keep the question context there so that it doesn't change the meaning of it. So it is unlikely that I will come out of hiding. It is unlikely that I will come out of hiding. Okay, question number 3. Jenna did well in her English test. Her mother was proud of her. Jenna's mother was, okay, so her mother was proud of her, right? So was proud of Jenna for doing well in her English test. Okay, so this is the answer for question number 3. If you have no questions, let's go on to the next question. And for those of you who are new here and you are unsure of how you want to purchase this ebook, right, you can just head to our TikTok page over here, right? Go to our main page where you can see all of our videos and you can see our link in bio over here. So this, in this area here, if you can see the screen scrolling, right? Yeah, over here you can see above the email, phone and address, you can see this link. Click on it and you scroll to our ebook store. Click on the ebook store and you will be directed to our web page where we have all of the resources for PSLE students, especially those who are going to take your PSLE this year, right? This will be very helpful for you. So we do have PSLE oral ebook as well as our model compositions, grammar and vocabulary questions, 1000 S&T, and many more. So you can check out our collection over here in the website. Okay, so yes, if there's no more questions, let's go back to the worksheet. Okay, question number 4. My father was caught in traffic jam after, okay, we use this word to connect these two things. So he was late for work yesterday. So what happened first, right? He was caught in the traffic jam first, then he was late for work. So we know that with the word after, right, 2 comes after 1, right? If you use numbers to describe this, right? So this action number 2, comes after action number 1. Action number 2 comes after action number 1, which is why we have to just change the order of the sentences. So they give us sentence 1, then sentence 2. Now with the word after, we have to change the order of the sentence structure such that it fits the context of the question over here. So over here, my father what happened, right? So do we put caught in traffic jam or late for work yesterday first over here? Okay, do we put caught in traffic jam or late for work? Okay, so my father was late for work. yesterday, right? We have to keep this. And some of you actually have a habit of changing yesterday to the day before or the previous day. But please take note that this is not a direct speech question. Okay, this is not a direct to indirect speech question. Okay, so you do not have to change this word into the previous day or the day before. Right, so if you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments below as well. Right. So my father was late for work yesterday. After what happened? Right? He was late for work yesterday after something happened. So after he was caught in the traffic jam or after yes, so after being caught is alright. After being caught in the traffic jam. Okay, so he was late for work yesterday after being caught in the traffic jam. Okay, moving on to the next part over here. Amy rushed out of the library. She did not take her books. So without, right, we can replace did not. We can replace the word without with did not with the word without. So we don't need to repeat this in the question anymore because we already have a replacement for the phrase. So what would the answer be? Anyone? Okay, so for this question over here, right, it's quite straightforward. So Amy rushed out of the library without taking her books. We do not need to repeat she or Amy again. Right, so we just include here Amy rushed out of the library without taking her books. Okay, just as straightforward as this. So she rushed out of her library without taking her books. Okay, next practice over here. So now we have encountered a new phrase in this practice over here, which is neither of. Right, so neither of something. So both the students. So we know that both is a positive type of word and fail is a negative type of word. So now we change both to neither, which means that this has become negative. So we need to know that we have to change from fail to a positive type of word, right? So neither of blank. Okay, neither of the students right, we still know that they are the students, so none of them, right, neither of the students, we change from failed to pass. Okay, so pass their tests. Okay, hi, welcome everyone. So we are doing 50 S&T and Compre Cloze questions today. So feel free to drop any questions in the comments below if you have something to clarify or ask. And this is part of our ebook. So you can actually head to our TikTok page over here. And if you see this, right, you can click on our link in bio, just right on the left here. Click on the link in bio and scroll to our ebook store. And you are able to see our primary and secondary collection of ebooks as well. So we have covered several ebooks, right? So this is actually our bestseller, 1200 grammar and vocabulary questions. And this is this is what we are currently doing, which is 1000 PSLE synthesis and transformations questions. So you can just click on this and check out more information and details. So we'll only be doing 50 questions on TikTok Live, right, to show you how this ebook will look like. And if you're interested in doing more questions on your own, right, by self-studying and practicing on your own during your free time, feel free to purchase this ebook for your revision, because it will be very helpful for you to score well for your S&T segment in paper 2. Okay, so yes, this is our 1000 PSLE synthesis and transformations questions. Okay, so yeah, we do have some example PSLE questions that can be seen, which is very difficult if you don't practice your S&T regularly. Right, so actually, if you have seen this question before, Farid enjoys playing soccer with his classmates. Right, so what Farid? Some people will be stuck, right? Some students will say that, oh no, I've never seen this connector before. Right, I thought S&T is all about connectors like but, because, neither of, unless. No, but this is also a possible question that can appear in your PSLE, which is what this ebook will cover. Okay, so it will be very helpful for you if you are unsure of how to do these questions or you are weaker in S&T, right? Okay, so let's go back to our ebook over here. So yes, so neither of the students passed their test. So we changed both of the words to its opposite word form. Okay, question number 2. So the police have taken the stolen loot as evidence of the crime. Right, so the stolen loot. Okay, so what happened to the stolen loot? Right, so the police, this is in plural form actually. Right, it's representing it in plural, which is why we use the word have. Okay, however, the stolen loot is singular. Only one loot was stolen, right? One stolen loot. So the stolen loot has been taken. Okay, so this is a hint for you, has been taken. Right, don't make a careless mistake, because you need to know that a stolen loot is only one item, is singular, it's not plural. Okay, so the stolen loot has been taken blank, right? By who and for what? Right, so the stolen loot has been taken by the police as evidence of the crime. Okay, so this is the correct answer for question 2 over here. So the stolen loot has been taken by the police as evidence of the crime. Okay, there's no further questions. Let's go on to question number 3. He was punished severely as he refused to apologize for his offense. Okay, so now we have this word resulted in. Okay, so what is going to be the answer? Right, blank resulted in blank. Okay, so resulted in, right, is the effect of something. So what would answer for question number 3 be? Okay, something resulted in something. Okay, something resulted in something. So the correct answer for this question is actually his refusal to apologize for his offense resulted in him being severely punished. Okay, so this will be the correct answer for question number 3. his refusal to apologize. So we change this to its noun form, which is refuse to refusal. His refusal to apologize for his offense resulted in him being severely punished. Okay, so this is the correct answer for question number 3, right? Thank you, user 8618, for sharing the live session. Right, welcome to our live. So feel free to follow us if you haven't. Okay, and like the live and share it with your friends if you feel that it will be helpful for you. Okay, thank you for sharing the live video. Okay, so let's go on to the next question over here, question number 4. Right, so did you revise your work last night, Jeremy? Asked Mr. Goh. So did, this is in past tense, right? You, right, now this we have to change from the direct to indirect speech format, so we cannot keep you over here. We have to direct this speech to Jeremy. Okay, so he. Okay, revise, we change it to the past perfect form, so it will be had revised, right? And last night we change it to the previous night. Okay, the previous night. Okay, the previous night. So this is the correct answer. Right, so Mr. Goh asked Jeremy, so how do we write the full sentence out now? Right, we already got all our clues for changing which term into its past tense or changing the pronouns. Okay, ask Jeremy if, okay, ask him if, what did he do, right? He, okay, we put in the he, had revised his work. Okay, because your, we change it to his. His work. When, right? When did he revise his work? The previous night. Okay, if he had revised his work the previous night. So that is the correct answer for this question over here. Let's go on to question number 5. Okay, so question number 5 shows that we have to change the words, right? Because they gave us the princess made a, but made a is not appearing in the question over here, right? Because she entered the dance hall grandly. She entered the dance hall grandly, so the princess made a blank, right? So what did the princess do? Okay, so the princess made a grand entrance. Grand entrance to do what, right? So into the dance hall. Okay, so this is what happens. The princess made a grand entrance into the dance hall, right? Into the dance hall. Okay, so question 5 is correct. Let's go on to the next practice over here. Okay, question number 1. Susan was ill, she went to school, right? So now we have in spite of. Okay, in spite of. So how do we use this connector over here, right? Okay, Susan was ill, she went to school. So in spite of means that even though, right? Even though she was ill, she still went to school. So how do we use this connector to connect the two sentences over here for question number 1? Okay, how do we use the two sentences to connect with this phrase in spite of? Okay, so this will be Susan, right? We start with the subject. Susan went to school in spite of being ill. Okay, Susan went to school in spite of being ill. Okay, question number 2. My brother does not like eating yogurt. My sister does not like eating yogurt either. So neither of, right? Neither of. So now we are talking about none of them. None of my what? Right? What are my brother and my sister categorized as, right? So this will be my siblings. Okay, neither of my siblings. Neither of my siblings. Okay, what would the answer be? Right? Do they like or do they not like? Okay, so both of them do not like. So when neither, it already represents the negative form. Right? So neither of my siblings likes eating yogurt. Okay, neither of my siblings likes eating yogurt. Question number 3. Did you witness the accident along this road last night? The police officer asked Jenny. So now we are talking about a direct to indirect speech question once again. So how do we answer this question correctly? So if you can see that did, this is in past tense, right? Last night. Okay, the previous night. Okay, so now we change this to past perfect tense. Okay, and this change to that. Okay, this change to that. So the police officer asked Jenny if she had witnessed the accident along that road the previous night. Okay, so this is how we answer question number 3. The police officer asked Jenny if she had witnessed the accident along that road the previous night. Okay, so let's go on to the next question over here. Question number 4. Terry had withdrawn from the basketball team. The coach was shocked. Okay, so by. So by represents that there's a reason, right? It was caused by this that caused him to be shocked. So the coach will come in the first half of the sentence. So the coach was shocked by. Okay, what was the coach shocked by? Okay, the coach was shocked by Terry's withdrawal from the basketball team. Okay, so the coach was shocked by Terry's withdrawal from the basketball team. Okay, question number 5. Rachel is very persistent. She has made a new swim record in the Youth Olympics. So owing to her what? Right, what does Rachel has? What does Rachel have? Right, so she have persistence. So we change persistent to persistence. Okay, so owing to her persistence, right? Owing to her persistence, Rachel has made yes, has made a new swim record in the Youth Olympics. Rachel has made a new swim record in the Youth Olympics. So this is how it works. For question number 5, right, owing to her persistence, Rachel has made a new swim record in the Youth Olympics. Okay, so for those of you who are new here, welcome to our live session. Please remember to like and share our live and follow us if you haven't, because we do have daily live English sessions for you. And let's go on to the next part over here. Okay, question number 1 for practice 5. Oh, Eternal Dreams. Hi, Eternal Dreams. Do you not have school today? Why are you so sad? Why are you crying? Oh no. Are you okay, Eternal Dreams? Hello. You are in school, I see. Why are you so sad? Being in school, you can study and play with your friends, right? Okay, all the best for your exams as well, right? For your test, especially in May upcoming. Cause I wanna join the live. Oh, you're very sweet. It's okay, Eternal Dreams. There will be live sessions. There will be live sessions almost every day, so you can join us anytime, right? Okay, so for the next question, question number 1. Did you attend the morning training session yesterday? My father asked. Okay, so my father asked, right? So this is in past tense. Okay, this is in past tense. Yesterday, we can change it to the day before or the previous day. Okay, I'll stick to the previous day. Okay, so did we change it to past perfect tense, right? So my father asked if I had attended the morning training session. The day before or the previous day. Okay, so if I had attended the morning training session the previous day. So this is how it works. Next, question number 2. All the pupils are expected to submit their travel declaration to their teacher tomorrow. So every. So every means that is every single pupil, right? So all the pupils, we change it to singular form. So now we change it to pupil only. So every pupil, right? Every pupil is expected. Okay, we change the question to the singular form. So to submit his or her, okay, I'll use his, right? Travel declaration to his teacher tomorrow. Okay, please don't get tricked by this. We do not have to change this to the day after or the next day, right? So don't, just because you see yesterday, tomorrow, last night, maybe next week, all these you have to change them. You only have to change them when it is in the direct speech format. Okay, so if the question is not asking you to switch from direct to indirect speech, right? So you don't have to do it. Okay, you can understand. Okay, so next question, question number 3. Grandma dislikes Western food, Ali loves it. So this is one of the challenging questions for synthesis because you have never really seen this connector before, right? It's not shared. So how am I supposed to form the sentence with this connector over here? Okay, so Ali loves Western food, but Grandma dislikes it. So we can write that Ali's love for Western food is not shared by Grandma. Okay, remember to spell Grandma with a capital G. Okay, so Ali's love for Western food is not shared by Grandma. Okay, question number 4, right? Let's go on to question number 4. So in spite of blank, right? So in spite of something, right? Even though something is like this. So in spite of, okay, in spite of being witty. Okay, Tom was not popular. Okay, this shows us that we are talking about how even though Tom was witty, he was still not popular in class because maybe the wit is extreme, right? He's too funny, a class clown, which is why maybe it makes people distance themselves. So what does wit mean? Wit means that it is very they have smart tricks, I would guess, right? So quick and intentive humor. So being witty is actually quite a trait that is related to humor. Okay, question number 5. Tenny was delighted. She had won the first prize in the lucky draw. So much to something. So much to Tenny's delight. Yes. Okay, so much to Tenny's delight. Okay, much to her delight. Right. She had won the first prize in the lucky draw. Okay, so much to her delight, she had won the first prize in the lucky draw. Okay, moving on to the next practice over here. Right, impossible. So cannot understand will be replaced with impossible to understand. Okay, it will be changed to impossible to understand. So what would the answer be? So the answer will be he has such a strong accent. He has such a strong accent that it is impossible to understand what he is saying. Okay, so this is how it works, right? So he has such a strong accent that it is impossible to understand what he is saying. Okay, so welcome those who are new to the live, right? Please remember to follow us if you haven't, and like and share the live if you find this helpful for you. Okay, so for those of you who are interested, we are doing 50 synthesis and transformation practice questions, right? So if you are interested in purchasing it, you can head to our TikTok main page over here, right? See the main page, and you can click in the link in bio. This will direct you to this page over here. Scroll down a little and you are able to see our ebook store. Right, so once you see the ebook store, you'll be directed to this page, and happy shopping. You can see all of these useful PSLE resources for you. So currently we are doing 1000 PSLE synthesis and transformation questions over here. Okay, we are doing this ebook right now, right? We are doing 50 synthesis and transformation questions. Okay, question number 2, right? John lost his way because the complex network of roads confused him. So now we change confused from the end of the question. As you can see, it's from the end of the question. We switch it to the front of the question over here. So confused, we change it here. So confused, what happened? Right, confused by something, right? Confused by something. So confused by the complex network of roads. Yes, he confused by the complex network of roads. John lost his way. Okay, so this is how this question will be answered. So he's confused by something, right? So what is John confused by? Right, the roads confuse him, right? So you can see in the question, synthesis and transformation is all about rearranging the sentences to fit the context of what the question gave. So if the question gave you confused at the start of the sentence instead of what the question gave at the end, right, we know that we have to switch it around such that the meaning doesn't change, but we use the same words to express what the question wants to ask. Okay, so we have to provide it. Oh no. Okay. Hi guys, sorry, our live disconnected just now. Our live session disconnected. Welcome back to our live. Right, so we are doing 50 synthesis and transformation questions. So for those of you who are new here, welcome. And do remember to like and follow us if you haven't. So we continue with our S&T questions here. Okay, question number 3. Thinking that, right? Thinking that. Okay, thinking that something happened, right? So the caretaker locked the door as he thought no one was in the room. Okay, So thinking will be replacing the word thought, right? Because it's the same word just in the past and the present in the continuous tense as well. Okay, so thinking that something happened. So thinking that no one was in the room. Thinking that no one was in the room, the caretaker locked the door. Okay, thinking that no one was in the room, the caretaker locked the door. So this is how we reword and change the sentence structure to fit the context of the question. Okay, hi everyone, welcome to our live session. We are doing 50 synthesis and transformation questions today. Right, this comes from our ebook. So you can actually find and access our ebooks via our TikTok shop over here. So if you can see, this is our main TikTok shop page, right? And if you scroll over here, you can see that we do have this link in bio. So this link in bio over here is actually where you can access our ebook store, and from our ebook store, then you can see our products. So we are currently doing this 1000 WOW PSLE S&T practices, right? So we do cover several ebooks, and these will be very helpful for your revision for paper 1, paper 2, and even oral practices, right? So we do have PSLE oral model responses for you as well, so you can check it out if you are interested, right? All these will be helpful for those who want to self-study for PSLE and don't know where to get the proper resources to practice. Okay, so going on to the last two questions over here, right? So grandpa was kind and generous. He inspired me to do volunteer work. Okay, hi Chan Wai, thank you for following us. Right, so grandpa's kindness, blank. So we change kind to kindness. So now this is the noun form, right? So now we also need to change generous to something. Okay, kindness and what? So we change it to generosity, right? So grandpa's kindness and generosity inspired me to do volunteer work. Okay, so for the P6 students who are unsure of how to tackle synthesis and transformations questions, right, by doing practices every day, you're able to see a trend in the questions and what is going to come out, or maybe how to handle these kind of questions, right? So by doing more, you are able to drill it and master the techniques and the good phrases to use as well. Right, so how to use unless, right? If you didn't do practice, you might not be able to know that, oh, unless actually represents if you don't, right? So these are some of the very small and important things that you should take note of as well. Okay, so let's look at question number 5. So the new gardener is pruning the hedge. Okay, so is pruning is actually continuous tense. Okay, is pruning continuous tense, right? So the hedge, now we switch the gardener to the back and we change the hedge to the front, right? This is what the question is asking for. So if the question is asking for the last subject to be now put at the front, we have to know how to switch the structure such that the meaning and the tense doesn't change. Yes, so is being pruned will be correct. Okay, so some of you will say that why we cannot put was pruned, right? Because this sentence didn't ask you for past tense, it's in present tense, right? So is currently being, okay, the being actually represents the ing here, right? Is being pruned by the new gardener. Okay, Okay, so this is the correct answer for this question over here. The hedge is being pruned by the new gardener. Okay, let's go on to the next practice. Right, so unless, once again, unless represents if you don't. So unless you practice hard, okay, please remember to spell practice with the S because this is in the verb form. Right, if you spell practice with the C, it will be in the noun form because we are following the British spelling convention. So unless you practice hard, right, if you don't practice hard, you will not, okay? You will not perform well on Friday night. Okay, so unless you study hard, unless you practice hard, sorry. Unless you practice hard, you will not perform well on Friday night. So take note that when you use unless, it can be quite confusing for some students. So how to make it less confusing, right? You should just replace the word with if you don't. Okay, and moving on to the next question. Jacob signed up for the squash tournament, then he sought his father's permission. So this is what happened first and this is what happened second, right? So before the second thing happened, number one happened, right? So this is how we are going to answer this question type. Every time you see before or after, you just label the sentences with the sequence of it. Okay, so before 2 happened, right? So what is number 2? How do we change it? So before Jacob, Jacob sought his father's permission, he signed up for the squash tournament. Okay, so this is how question 2 is done, right? So before number 2 happens, 1 happens. Okay, so let's go on to question number 3. The boy ran away before I could record his name, said the prefect. Right, so this is the direct to indirect speech question once again. So the boy ran away before I could record his name. We have to change the tenses for this question over here. So because ran is in the past tense, right? So the prefect said that the boy, what has the boy done, right? Had run away. Before, okay, the prefect you can give he or she. So before he could or she could record his name. So this is how we answer this question type, right? Because they don't have yesterday or tomorrow, it makes things a little simpler that there are lesser traps to look out for, right? So the boy had run away before he could record or she could record his name. Okay, so it depends on whether the prefect is a boy or the girl. In this case, they didn't specify, so I believe both he and she can be accepted. Okay. Okay, last 2 questions for the live session now. Right, so Ali is anxious over every small matter and this causes him to frown all the time. Okay, so he's anxious over every small matter and this causes him to frown all the time. So what would the answer be, right? So Ali's, is it anxiousness, anxiety? Yes. Thank you, Mian Pao, for your answer. So Ali's anxiety. Okay, Okay, Ali's anxiety over every small matter, right? Causes him to frown all the time. Okay, so this is the anxiety over every small matter. Okay, we change anxious to anxiety. Yes, so last question for today, right? So for those of you who are still new here and um you haven't followed us, please remember to follow us as we have daily live English sessions lined up for you as well. Right, if you are a P6 student and you are struggling with your revision, right, maybe getting an ebook to revise will be a very helpful um resource for you as well, right? Because you can study on the go. Okay, no sooner had usually comes with or pairs with the word then. Okay, so no sooner had, we replace this with this, so we don't need to say as soon as anymore, right? So no sooner had the boy finished lunch. Finished lunch, then he started feeling hungry again. Okay, so this is how it works, right? No sooner had the boy finished lunch, then he started feeling hungry again. Okay, so for those of you who are not sure what we are doing right now, we are doing 50 synthesis and transformation practice ebook, right? So for those of you who are here, right, thank you for joining our live session. If you're interested in getting, just head to our link in bio over here, click on the link and scroll down to our ebook store to check out more. So in our ebook store, we do have various products that can help you with your PSLE revision as well. So you can see from this over here, we are currently doing this blue color cover page ebook, which is 1000 PSLE synthesis and transformations questions. Okay, so yes, this is the ebook that we are doing. Okay, if you have any more questions, just feel free to WhatsApp us at the number on top of the screen, or you can drop a comment below to let me know if you have any problems. Okay, so thank you all for joining our live sessions today, and I'll see you all later. Okay, bye bye.